Now we are heading over to Amansie South and West District, and it's still about education. The youth in Amansie South and West District have been, going through some series of problems when it comes to their education, and this has been threatening their education. Well, it all has to do with finances. Hafiz Tijani, our Middle Belt Bureau Chief, has a report on this. Let's check out the report, and when we come back, we will get to talk to him and maybe the necessary people.
24-year-old Emmanuel Abwaji from Mansun Kenso once dreamed of pursuing an engineering course at a tertiary level, but those dreams were nearly cut short after the death of his parents and relatives who were expected to support his education, leaving him with no financial backing.
At a point, I just felt like I should just give up and maybe try and find some business to do, because in fact, sometimes I will be inside and I'll be crying to myself, just like I don't have any hope. I don't know what to do. So that was life then. And
Emmanuel's experience reflects the struggles of many young people in communities across the Amansie West and South districts, where financial hardship continues to derail educational ambitions.
I'm from a family of 6 children, and then my parents struggle. We have some financial crisis. So my mother and my grandfather do take care of me from JHS. So when I was at JHS, my grandfather was taking care of me, and now he's a pensioner. So for my financial background there, it has been a little of struggles.
Authorities of the Ghana Education Service in the districts say the growing trend of brilliant students abandoning their tertiary education aspirations is worrying and poses a long-term threat to human resource development in the area.
It is not everybody that will be involved in the mainstream cocoa farming or the galamsey activity. There are others that are in the middle line or outliers that would need support such as this. I was privileged to be part of the team that did the selection. We had very brilliant students that didn't have any support. Because of that, he had stayed at home for the past 4 years only to come and benefit from this one. And he came with aggregate 7.
In response, Asanko Gold Ghana Limited, through its 5-year social and economic development plan, has introduced a scholarship scheme to support needy but brilliant students. Under the initiative, 15 students from host communities are selected through a transparent process.
I will pick this item because we've seen a lot of them, very good students, are not getting the support to continue their education. And we felt there was a need to come on board and bring them also along the line. For a start, we're running 15 students every year. We run 15 students, support them throughout the 4 years or 3 years of their program until the 5th year. Then after the 5th year, we'll come back and do an evaluation of the whole exercise and see how much it is impacted on the community. Then we can go forward from that stage.
For beneficiaries like Emmanuel, the scholarship has brought renewed hope.
So very grateful to the Asanko Gold Mine for this great opportunity. In fact, I am not sure if it is not this scholarship, maybe I'll be having the opportunity to pursue my dream of becoming a mechatronic engineering.
This scholarship will really help me. So it will help me in terms of me focusing on my education, because it got to a point I was thinking of stopping education, going to work, so that I can get something to continue my education. So this scholarship will really ease me.
Parents and traditional leaders have welcomed the intervention, urging beneficiaries to make good use of the opportunity.
All right, so that's the story. And one thing I could say is that there are a lot of people who really want to go to school.
And that's what I really like.
Yeah.
The fact that organizations have gotten into it to get the issues resolved. No government can't do it all.
They can't do it all.
If we have more than one of the Asanko people that's going to work and getting into a community or the district, Amansie South and West, you find more youth there than just the 2 or the 3 that we saw.
Yeah,
There are a lot more there
Yeah.
that if you get these chance or this chance and they are able to move to a higher height and learn, we know that there are sort of packages from the government, you know, the free senior high school policy. You go through the secondary education. When you get to the tertiary institution now, the current government is sort of paying your first year for you. There is
then,
sort of scholarship there as well. You can
and
also
there should
get
be loans.
the loan, the student loan
loans,
also there and all that. But some people do not know how to tap into these things.
That's one thing.
Yeah, but Hafiz is joining us. Let's look at the numbers properly in the area. Just that we are seeing what other benevolent organizations are doing to help people go to school so that they will be able to be very prominent people in the society who can also change things in our communities. Hafiz, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Philip.
Hafiz, share with us with the Amansie South and West districts. How is education there like? Is it like people are taking, let's start from the basic level, very well, and when you move through to the senior high school, and also how it is like when family and friends are supposed to support their wards or their relatives to school?
Well, so you know the mainstay of the people in these communities of the districts, the 2 districts, is mining and also the mining and then the farming in the community. So you have cocoa, you have cassava, and then illegal mining issues are so rife in these areas. So when you go to these communities, because most of the parents are farmers, they are not getting the financial muscle to take their wards to school. Most of these kids, sometimes when they get to the junior high school and they are not getting any support to the senior high school, most of them just drop out and then engage in illegal mining activities. So, there were concerns about how farming is no longer attractive to even the farmers themselves. And that is another challenge because the farmers feel that when they engage in illegal mining activities, they get more money than just doing the farming. So it's a very big issue the education authorities there are grappling with. So when you look at the communities there, these are communities that are very poor. So they have poor social amenities. They have also poor road network. So imagine how they cope, and they are not exposed to some of these opportunities. So sometimes parents are able to get their wards through to the senior high school, but getting them to the tertiary education is a big challenge. So this gentleman, Emmanuel Abuaja, I spoke to, he has a very bitter story to tell, or he told a very bitter story when he thought that it was there for him to pursue his dream in the tertiary level or at the tertiary level. Then death visited the caretakers who were taking or who were supposed to take care of him. Then he had to switch home for more than 2 years before he had this opportunity. So for him, if this opportunity had not come, he didn't know what to do. And these are areas where you have people, if they are learning, they learn very well and they pass their senior high school because they don't have any excuse not to study. But the financial barriers are just not allowing them to pursue some of these dreams. So many of them are tempted to engage in illegal mining because they find the farming job not so attractive and lucrative. So when they are not able to get these financial support, then they just join the fray in also going into the mining. So even most of the illegal miners, when you engage them, you see that they speak very good English, but you ask them why they are not in school, they tell you it's because of the financial barriers. And the major issue is also that when they engage in the illegal mining activities and they start getting the money, then they feel that you go to school because you want to make money. So why am I going to school again if I can make money through illegal mining? So it's a very big issue the authorities there in the education space are grappling with.
All right. So do they also have access to, some of the ways that government have actually put out there for students to be eased of their financial burdens? Like the first one is the free first year fees that they actually go through, that the government, sucks in from them. Do they know about that? And the second one is the student loan trust fund. Do they also know about that?
Yes, so it's multifaceted issue. So they will know about these opportunities, but when they go to the senior high school, maybe after paying the fees, then what next? So they will have to look at the accommodation issue. They will have to look at their feeding. They'll have to look at their clothing. They'll have to look at some of the stationery they'll be buying to ensure that they have a sound study. So these are some of the impediments that prevent them. Not only the fees, sometimes they have assurances from the government interventions to get some of these opportunities to pay their fees, but they are expressing some fear that if they pay the fees and they are not able to get money for accommodation, and they can go to their communities and come to school every day. So, like staying in the Amansie West area, you can be at KNUST, and then you want to be going to and from the school, and that is not going to be possible. So for them, it's beyond just the fees. It's about how they are going to take care of themselves within the period of study, how they are going to take care of themselves in terms of accommodation, in terms of the stationery, in terms of some personal issues they will have to sort out while in school.
Okay, Hafiz, thank you so much for your time. We are grateful. At least you've been able to help some few students from that particular area who will be going to school. And like we say, education is the key. So it's very important that these children or these people find ways and means to get into tertiary institutions. And
but I also like the fact that
to learn.
Hafiz actually explained how multifaceted this problem is, because at the end of the day, one might just think one way, like I just asked, why if they know about some of the ways that the government have put out to help them, like the first year free education for the tertiary students, and also the student loans and how to access them, and some scholarship on how to access them. At the end of the day, he's right. After paying your fees, what next? What about your books? What about your clothing? What about your transportation? What about accommodation? What about how you eat?
So it's not just about the fees.
It is really multifaceted.
Because you wouldn't be hungry and you'd want to go for lectures. How are you going to learn? And how are you really going to...
And you cannot travel from your town sometimes all the way to where the universities are.
So it's very important that at least if these things are checked. This story is just an interesting one. We will see how we can explore it more and have conversations more on this story as the Amansie South and West districts have issues when it comes to education and all that. But we have Hubert, who is a Deputy Director Statistics Planning for the Amansie South district. He is with the Education Directorate. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I trust you are doing well.
By the grace of God.
Good,
how about you?
We are doing good. Let's understand from you briefly, how is the education situation like in your districts? Is it that most of the youth there do not go to school?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
First of all, let me say good morning to you and your listeners. It is not the case that most of the students do not go to school. It is the case that a few very brilliant but needy ones out for want of financial support.
Okay, so with this financial issue, we know that there is the free senior high school policy, and also for the tertiary institution, there are other policies that the government has brought out to sort of cushion these students or people who want to seek a higher education. Is that they do not know, or maybe it goes beyond that?
Yeah, it is the case that a lot do not know and stay home in most cases without making themselves available to such opportunities. Another would be just the ignorance of it, or parents not being able to support them to take advantage of the opportunity.
But have you tried educating them on that?
Yes. When we get to hear of such, then we would begin pulling strings here and there, talking to opinion leaders, in some cases calling on the MP to come to support such people, and then the district assembly too. So it was welcome news when we heard of Asanko coming in recently with the scholarship scheme to support such needy but brilliant students.
Aside Asanko, has any other institution been there to maybe help?
Not really. You would have in some cases the MP supporting a few, and then some other benevolent ones also coming in to support. But we have still some that do not come to our attention. You hear from time to time that very brilliant students that may have completed JHS or SHS not being able to continue for various reasons.
Sometimes with education, you need to know, see the interest there. Do these young ones or the youth in your district, do they have that interest in going to school or getting educated?
Yes and no. In some, yes, in the case of the very good ones that will be mentored by their teachers or the school system, and also setting some future aspirations for themselves. So you would get them following through with that kind of need. But in the case where you do not have students like that, having role model that they can aspire to become, or do not have any information about future prospects of getting themselves schooled, then you get them dropping out and then engaging in the much talk about galamsey and also other things that would be readily available for them to engage in.
Wow. So does it look like the galamsey in that district is taking away a lot of the youth?
Partly so. You would find that under recent government interventions, you would get there and you would have people that would have completed SHS or would have completed SHS. You get them interviewed and they'll tell you, yes, I've completed, and then I need money to continue to tertiary. Or some, you would have qualified nurses, qualified teachers that have not yet been engaged in it. So that is the situation.
But what I want to find out is that, is galamsey taking away most of the youth in the district?
Yes, it is obvious that galamsey activities are usually performed by the youth. You will find very minimal number of the old-aged people in it. It's mainly performed by the youth in their prime ages.
So that is to say that the money they get in there sort of entices them, or they are interested in that more than going to school?
certainly so, because if you look at the figures they are able to bandage around as what Galamsey has been able to give to them, then it is really enticing. And some of them would readily say, yes, if I finish school, it is still the money that I'll look for. So if Galamsey is able to make it available, why not?
Anyway, you are with the Education Directorate. Before you take leave of us, what do you think that will be the way to resolve this? And maybe you want to call on other individuals or organizations like Asanko to help.
Thank you very much for that. Yes, this would be a multi-sectorial or multi-dimensional thing, starting from parents to chiefs and opinion leaders of the community, to people like Asanko or benevolent organizations, and then to government. I would, if time will permit, I'll take my time to speak to each one of them so that we would look at it.
Yeah, so you just have about 2-3 minutes to do that, if you can do
2 minutes.
Or 3 minutes to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would title this as a call to action to parents. They must understand that certainly education is the most definite source of being taken out of the poverty. It is very definite that when you are able to educate your ward properly, certainly when they come out, it is more likely that you would be able to take yourself out of poverty. And so parents should endeavor to keep their wards in school and also plan definitely for their wards. No matter how small, they should plan and budget for their wards education. Then to the opinion leaders, if we come to situations where very brilliant students stay out of school or are not able to continue school, it is the loss of the community. And so opinion leaders, chiefs and opinion leaders of the community should endeavor to set structures in place, scholarship schemes within the community, or fish out for such scholarship scheme and make it available to students like that, such that they would benefit from it. So the district assembly, yes, opportunities like the scholarship scheme will continue, the national scholarship scheme will continue coming. Effort should be made to look out for these brilliant but needy students that would be within the community, and then maybe profiling them and make them ready so that as soon as the opportunity makes itself available, they will take advantage of. Now to Asanko. Yes, they have given about 15 students scholarship to tertiary institutions this year, and they are willing to continue over the years. Our only plea would be that they only grow it and make it bigger, such that a lot more students would benefit, and then it will be to the good of Amansie, both South and West, and to Ghana at large. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Hubert Amenudzi, who is the Deputy Director of Statistics and Planning, Amansie South District Education Directorate. He made mention of something which is also happening up in the north. Edward brought out a report that Galamsey betting driving dropout in the northern region and the northern part of Ghana. So education think tank Africa Education Watch, EdWatch, has raised alarm over a growing trend in northern Ghana, revealing that about 70% of out-of-school children aged between 12 and 17 are being driven out of the classroom by illegal mining activities, popularly known as Galamsey and betting. Speaking on ChannelOne newsroom on yesterday, EdWatch's Executive Director Kofi Asare said the latest data points to a troubling shift from patterns identified in 2021 population and housing census, where most of the dropout children were found in younger age groups. He explained that the new trend indicates that children in the northern parts or in the northern regions are increasingly dropping out of school as they grow older, largely due to the lure of galamsey and betting, rather than failing to enroll at the early stages of their education. So it's a big issue that has to be dealt with. For instance, you go to communities where galamsey is happening, people are moving from education to galamsey. It's like you're getting is it immediate gratification or yeah. So
but you see, I also think there's also a link with the first story that we saw. Do you understand? If learning is made attractive, more people will stay in class. Do you understand? But learning is not attractive in the basic stage. I mean, instead of being attractive, it is harder for them because they do not have all they need to learn. Because let's be realistic. You can't come to Accra now and then go to certain schools and tell the students, come, let's go and do galamsey. No, they won't follow you.
They won't follow you.
They will definitely not follow you. Do you understand?
They won't follow you.
So I feel like if we look at the base, go back to the basics again and make learning attractive, let the things that they need to learn be like the classrooms be adequate, let the ICT hall be adequate, let them have things that they need to stay in class for. When it gets to a certain age, they themselves, they will not want to move around. Because the first story, when we spoke to the reporter, they said the students said they don't have the things they need, so why should they go to school? So they are focusing on farming. So imagine if galamsey comes to that area.
Oh, they went there.
They're all gone.
And I think in that area too, sort of the
do you understand?
So they will definitely enter. So it's a big issue though that has to be dealt with. Entire education system, the sector, and this, I don't know whether it needs a reform, but I think that certain things there must be checked. And like Chris indicated, but like Chris indicated, if certain things are done, you're crossing our T's and dotting our I's in the education system, it's going to look attractive for others to also get in there.